Hi, I'm Merrick D'Amato.
And I'm kicking this shit off. I'm just starting, fuckers.
And this is our first episode after episode 80.
And it's the new year. The first day of New Year.
Well, when we're recording, it's been 2018 for some time.
For some time. I'm not sure exactly what amount of time, but for a time. It is the new year, though, now. So happy New Year's, guys.
And the wheel has been upgraded and expanded.
Yeah!
I'm going to see this new Doom of ours in 3, 2, stop that. 1, bam. I'm going to give her a spin, see what we're going to watch.
Woo! It's a big wheel.
100 things on it.
Oh,
the Neon Demon.
Oh, yeah! Yeah!
I'm afraid because this is one of the...
I've seen this before.
This is one of the many films Geo decided to add to the wheel.
Yup.
Just look this thing up.
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
Why am I afraid?
Oh, excellent.
Oh, this is the most recent film we've ever seen, 2016.
Yeah, it's honestly not that old.
When aspiring model... Oh, I already don't care.
Oh, come on.
I hate models. I hate the modeling industry.
Just read it.
When aspiring model Jessie moves to Los Angeles, her youth and vitality are devoured by a group of beauty-obsessed women who will take any means necessary to get what she has.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a very interesting look into the mind of self-absorbed Valley girls.
Oh, Keanu Reeves is in this.
Yep. Yes, he is.
And a bunch of people I've never heard of.
Yep, it's gonna be something quite interesting. I just want to know one thing before we start this.
Yeah.
What's your take on squishy or popping foods?
What?
Like squishy foods.
I need a lot more information.
It's okay. We'll get to that. We'll see you guys on the other side.
This is gonna hurt.
I see 20 or 30 girls come in here every day. From small towns with big dreams. Some girls crack under the pressure. You're going to be great.
What's it feel like? You walk into a room, it's like in the middle of winter. You're the sun.
It's everything. You know what my mother used to call me? Dangerous. You're a dangerous girl. She was right. I am dangerous.
That was not the worst film I've ever seen.
So,
but it was bad, and it was definitely the most fucking disturbing.
Yeah. So, Crunch versus Pop. What are you feeling about pop like squishy foods?
Are you talking about the eyeball?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh man.
I would just like to say,
yes.
when aspiring model Jessie moves to Los Angeles, her youth and vitality are devoured by a group of beauty...
Yes.
Okay, that actually does happen. Never mind
Yeah.
that. So I
What?
expected actual demons.
Oh.
There are no demons.
Technically, the modeling agency is the Neon Demon.
So we start with what looks like a crime scene.
Yes.
With some bald fucker taking pictures of some blonde bitch.
It's a bloody girl on a couch, like with like a slash in her neck.
Blood and two neon poles, one's knocked over.
Uh-huh.
And I knew right away it was a modeling shoot because this movie isn't really interesting enough to have a real murder in it yet, this early on.
Not that early on.
And I'll just say I was drinking heavily throughout this film. I had like half a bottle of white Zinfandel wine, but it didn't get me drunk. It's like I was drinking the wine, and the wine got into my system, and before it started settling in to make me actually drunk, it saw what I was watching and said, nope, nope, I'm out.
Oh, okay, I'll be like lenient and say a lot of this movie is just like a lot of like just things happening with but not a lot stringing it together.
I will say now, I would probably watch this movie again.
Yeah.
Now that I know it actually pays off to something.
Yeah, well, I told you the ending's gonna be great.
Hour and a half is so fucking pointless.
Yeah, I know. It's strung along by not a lot. But the ending, it ends up leading to something.
Yeah, but I wish we'd watch it on 2x speed.
Well, you said you were going to speed it up, and I was like, okay, fine. I told you, once the ending comes around, though, we watch it to entirety. We just ended up watching the whole thing all the way through. Like, at normal speed. And you know what?
So much of it goes nowhere.
Oh, come on. Things happen.
Yeah, but so much of it is fucking irrelevant.
Well, okay, we start off with basically her, like, wiping off the blood after this photo shoot.
With the makeup artist called Ruby.
Yeah. And she ends up getting invited to a party.
Yeah, with other models.
Uh-huh.
And they're all bitches. One's 80% plastic.
One's 80% bitch, the other is 90% bitch.
Well, one's a bitch but tries to hide it, and the other one, the British chick, is a bitch but doesn't care if you know she's a bitch.
Oh, of course.
And she's somehow more likable just for the fact that she's actually honest.
But that one ends up being the one that, like, straight up is probably the worst one in the whole movie.
I guess.
She ends up being the worst one, almost.
I guess.
Aside from maybe Ruby herself.
Oh, Ruby ends up being really bad.
Oh, Ruby turns.
So it turns out she's living at in a motel in Pasadena.
Yeah, and
yeah,
her like the owner of the motel, the manager,
is Keanu Reeves. And there's not enough of him in this film.
Yeah.
But then we got some kind of show that's happening at the party, which is in this weird Matrix club. And it's
people floating
with strobe light.
And apparently no one else is watching this but them.
It was weird.
It's like the three of them in a triangular formation. This movie loves triangles.
Yeah, it really does.
This movie fucking adores triangles. I don't know if it's because, like, it's an all, like, female main cast. But
does that have anything to do with anything?
With triangle, you know, like you never seen like the triangular formation of the women's, like, you know, like, I mean, goddamn, like there's a club in GTA called the Triangle Club.
Really?
And it's a strip club, of course.
There's something I was not aware triangles had anything particular to do with women.
Well, like you look at the lower half of a woman, it's like the legs, like the thighs on like a G-string make a triangle.
Okay.
Vagina.
Okay.
It's a thing.
Whatever.
But yeah, like this movie fucking loves triangles.
Yeah.
My God, does it love triangles?
There are so many blonde, almost identical blonde women. I often had a problem telling characters apart.
Yeah, it is kind of like it's a little hard to distinguish, especially if you've never seen this before. But me being someone that has, I was able
just to. Right after the weird strobe light thing, we cut right to an interview with Jesse and what I presume is an agent.
Oh, can we talk about what they were talking about in the bathroom though first? Like the little conversation of like you know, makeup.
Oh yeah,
makeup is like
it's either food
names. Or sex.
Yeah.
And it's like fucking
Peachy Keen.
Yeah, Peachy Keen, Pink Pussy.
Yeah,
like black licorice.
Black honey.
Black honey.
This one of those like this. Makeup talk instinctively bores the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand makeup, but I understand, like, stage makeup.
This is... Okay, well, welcome to Bitch World. where it's the modeling industry. Yeah. And it's every bitch for herself.
It's, about... Like, after the interview with, the agent, who is by far the worst actor in the movie.
Oh yeah, the modeling, like the talent agent girl there. Yeah.
Apparently Jessie's 16, but she's supposed to say she's 19 because 18's still on the nose. Yeah. I guess. Mm-hmm.
She didn't tell them that she was 16.
No. But she could guess.
Yeah, she
It's after tell. This point you start realizing that this movie has an interesting, not problem to it, but thing to it. Mm-hmm. Where as a film, like as a series of events leading, like form a plot, it doesn't work.
It kind of does.
Like the first hour and a half, it does not work as a movie.
Well, it shows the story of like how this girl's downfall.
But
it shows this group of women's downfall. Their spiral into egomania and insanity.
What it's really one thing it excels at is shot composition. Mm-hmm. This is a very pretty movie. Many of the shots from this. Mm-hmm. Well, I would take a few shots of this and have them stills and put them on my wall.
Yeah.
They look really good. They're like paintings with humans. They're like a tableau done well. Mm-hmm. It's just
like that shot alone of her like passed out on the floor with the flowers is it's lovely.
But so many other but the thing that you start to notice eventually is that it does the opposite thing that Moulin Rouge does. Mm. Where Moulin Rouge, it has some very nice shots and well set up scenes, but it doesn't hold a shot for more than 2 seconds. This holds shots far longer than it needs to. Mm. Like, if all the shots were just as long as they needed to be, this movie would...
It'd be too short.
It would be 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It would shave 20 minutes off the film.
Yeah, but I feel like it would get to the ending way too fast.
Yeah, but it would get to the ending without losing me first.
Yeah, I guess so. It could be a lot shorter, but at the same time, I did enjoy the.
There's one thing. There's one thing already I want to give to this movie. Oh, we are talking about it like we are actually reviewing cinema. Like we're being actual critics.
Oh yeah, of course.
Usually we just make jokes.
We do all the time.
No, we just make jokes and act like dumbasses. But this one, we're actually...
No, this is a legitimately fine movie, but it does have its faults, and we are going to...
one of its faults is there's a difference between building suspense and just being slow. Mm-hmm. This one kind of crosses the line.
Super methodical. Overly methodical.
Almost, I'd say it's tedious.
Oh, very.
For most of it. So
very overly tedious.
We... meet the guy who shot the pictures, who is an amateur according to the agent.
Yeah, Bean? Dean.
Bean. And he tries to kiss her, but she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And then she goes to a room and there's
something... Because they met online.
Yeah. Goes to a room at the motel, something in the room, so she goes to ask Keanu Reeves for help with it. Mm-hmm. And he gets his boy who has a baseball bat.
Yeah.
And they go to the room and there's a mountain lion in the room.
Yep. And at first, Keanu Reeves grabs her by the throat and is like, "You fucking kids are all fucking same. You're gonna pay for this."
Well, he's still gonna pay. She still has to pay.
Yeah, she still ends up paying for it. It's even though he figured out what the hell the problem is and it was a natural cause.
Well, she should have closed the sliding door.
The fucking sliding door.
To be fair, she really should have.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't a mountain lion, you live in fucking Los Angeles!
Of course.
In a bad part of Los Angeles.
A shitty motel. Near the highway to hell.
Even if it wasn't going to be a fucking mountain lion getting into your room, someone would have broke in and taken everything of value you have.
Yeah, but, okay, for the sake of argument, let's assume that the show thing with all the floating fuckers and, the weird shit was actually happening and it was supernatural based.
Okay.
There's no way she could have controlled that.
No.
That is beyond measure, you know?
Yeah.
And that is an outside source causing that. So, like, she's okay. Honestly, you can tell that she's just as shocked because, you know, either she forgot or supernatural causes.
Yeah, but still, she should.
Either way works, though.
Still, it doesn't detract from my point of you live in L.A. Even if it wasn't.
Well, it might have been. It might not have been her fault. It might have literally.
But they have balconies. Someone could easily on the top floor just.
Of course.
Swing down, get in.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't someone. It was something. And of all the fucking things, a mountain lion.
Mountain lion
in her room.
Yeah.
Like damn.
Nothing. There's not enough Keanu Reeves in this film.
Yeah, that's one of the sins against it because Keanu Reeves is
the most interesting
simultaneously character. The fucking worst character, but the greatest.
They are worse.
The most entertaining.
There are far worse characters.
Well, he's a rapist that owns a possible rapist that owns a motel.
Yeah.
He's at least okay.
We don't know if he's the rapist.
Well, okay.
It could be Baseball Batman.
Okay. One way, he is the rapist and was abusing the fuck out of the girl next door.
Okay, let's actually talk about these scenes because they don't really have much bearing.
Yeah.
On the rest of the movie. Let's get the motel.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically
let's just
side
talk
stuff.
About the motel stuff.
That's the main side stuff. Really.
Dean goes to pay Keanu Reeves for the damages.
Because he's a good guy, Dean.
Good guy, Dean, and he's like $100. He's like, I only have $140. Like, Keanu's like, sold. Okay, take some money, and makes some kind of remark about, I hope you're getting some from her. This like, at least have this at least be worth your time.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't like that shit, you could check out room like 216. There's a
girl, a runaway from Ohio, 13. Real Lolita shit.
Real Lolita shit.
And then at another point, and then he goes off. Dean goes off in another scene. After I think it's after a photo shoot. What's her name? Jessie's in bed and she thinks she see and she what might be a dream where Keanu Reeves walks in
with a
knife and sticks it in her mouth and says and like twists it around and just says wider. And then she wakes up like sprawled on the floor and someone's trying to get into her room, so she runs and unlocks trying to like get in the door that he could get through with the doorknob.
Yeah.
But then she turns the deadbolt. And then he goes to the other room and she's what we can only assume is a woman being raped.
Yeah. Well, like, at the very least, assaulted.
Yeah. And so it's either someone's just assaulting her.
Yeah.
Or it's Baseball Bat Dude.
Either way is
or
possible.
It's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And if it's Baseball Bat Dude...
Or her boyfriend even. It could have been Dean even.
And this situation, it's either they broke in and did it, or Keanu Reeves is semi-running a brothel.
Yeah.
Without the girl's consent. Kind of situation.
Profiteering by selling them the keys, basically, for a few minutes of fun
It's
time.
like that in Kill Bill, that situation. With
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's going to be $200 for 20 minutes.
Yeah. That kind of thing is what could be going on. And that's pretty much all that comes of Keanu Reeves' character. The next interesting scene, this actually happens just before this, is the walk-off.
Yeah.
No, before the walk-off. There's a photographer who smears her in gold paint.
Oh yeah, Jack.
Rubbing gold
fucking
rubbing gold paint over her naked body, well, with a face that is just this is work for me.
No, his face is constantly like he's got his nose stuck up like he's sniffing farts. The way
I described it is after he said that is it's like he's in this film because it was either pay off a substantial debt he has to the guy who made it.
Yeah.
Like, actually, it was either pay the money or be in this movie.
Yeah.
And he thinking it would be easier, elected to be in this movie, and the whole time is regretting it.
But, like, he's taking no, like, personal pleasure
in
smearing gold paint on his body.
It is work for him.
No, it's literally just, take off your clothes, let me smear paint all over. Okay, I've done it the efficient way. All right, now I'm gonna take these pictures of you. I'm gonna take more pictures of you. Okay, get the fuck out of here. It's like I have other shit to do.
There's some more catty scenes with the other two blonde women. And then she's in a walk testing thing run by this mustachioed metrosexual, who's one of the most likable characters in the movie, actually.
Honestly, yeah.
Mainly because he's one of the only people who doesn't do anything bad.
Not necessarily. I mean, he is solely responsible though for not hiring the other girl. Yeah. The one that was getting older there. Yeah. The British one.
I mean, but it's like
he didn't have to. He's not under obligation. But it's just literally like, I'm tired of all of these girls. And he finally gets to Jesse and he's like, oh.
But it's also, he's the only. He's like, the worst thing he does is being a dick.
Yeah. But you know what? That is the least of this movie's sins.
Exactly. That's the worst thing he does.
Because there's so much bigger assholes.
Yeah. So they're doing a walk-off. He doesn't even bother to look at the British girl's walk-off. He just cleans his glasses like, hey, would you like me to do it again? Nah.
He's cleaning his glasses. He's making, like, napkin flowers.
Yep. He really likes Jessie's, though, and invites her to dinner where she brings Dean. Mm-hmm. And there's a talk with Dean, and it's like, hey, so, well, beauty's all they have, and that's like it's like talking about to the one who's 8% plastic. She's obviously fake. Like, do you think she's beautiful? Yeah, she's fine. Exactly what I mean. She's fine.
Yeah. And before this, he was even like talking, like waxing philosophical about, like, oh, I wish I would.
Oh, he wasn't waxing. He was fake waxing philosophical. He was legit.
He was stroking his fake cock.
He was he was just quoting Shakespeare.
Yeah,
I can't remember which Shakespeare, but it's either Hamlet or Macbeth.
Straight up quote.
But he was just quoting Shakespeare. He wasn't being original because it was about how he wanted to be an actor.
Yeah, of course. But like, still, he's stroking his fucking ego, and he ends up like Dean ends up telling him, like, you're wrong.
It's what's on inside that counts.
Oh, you're not going to tell me what's inside the count actually matters. Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
And there's like, you wouldn't even have noticed her if she wasn't British, is what he says. Mm. And He's both wrong. They're both kind of right.
Yeah.
Because granted, Dean's still hanging around with Jessie because he likes her as a person.
Yeah, and
but he would not have bothered even getting to know her if she wasn't quote unquote pretty.
And he's still a photographer, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's his
job. In fucking LA.
It's his work.
Yeah, exactly. So like he is fucking superficial to some degree or another. Hmm. Like that is not an argument. He is. Everybody is.
Yeah. And
it's just how superficial are you? But him, of course, less than Mustachio.
Then Jessie and Dean are having a conversation on the motel steps, and it says, "Do you want to be like these people? Do you want to be these people like these people?" She's like, "No, they want to be like me." Mm-hmm. And then that scene with Keanu Reeves in the next room happens.
And then she ends up getting scared off by this and goes to Ruby's
to the house. Ruby's house sitting.
Yeah.
And then Ruby takes this the wrong way. Mm-hmm. And there's no other way to say this, so I'm just going to put it bluntly, tries to rape her.
Yeah. Well, like, mounts her straight up.
And obviously she's rebuked by Jessie. Mm-hmm. And then she goes and draws a smiley face with X's for eyes and mouth in purple lipstick on a bathroom mirror.
Yep.
At another point before this, though, after the walking bit, I forgot to mention this. I'm amazed. This is one of the first times.
I'm missing a couple things, but we're going to go back.
This is the first interesting thing that happened in the movie.
Yeah.
Is she's in the British woman's in the bathroom. And then she's looking at herself in the mirror. Then she just hurls a metal bucket at the mirror.
Yeah.
And then
this is after Jessie, that was the British girl getting fired.
It was after the walk-off thing. Mm-hmm. Then Jessie goes in, like tries to be nice to her, cuts her hand on glass, and then British woman grabs her hand and starts drinking her blood.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
It's like she's gonna become
La Magra.
Fucking La Magra. Summon the blood god.
So after the Ruby rape, Ruby's at work. Her job is, her like 9 to 5 is she basically makes corpses. She works at a mortician.
Well, like a funeral home, I assume?
Well, it had the lines of drawers that have corpses in them.
Yeah.
So she works at a funeral home,
mm-hmm.
and her job is to make the corpses look presentable for open casket funerals.
Of course.
And she's like working on one of the women who looks kind of like Jessie.
Yeah.
And this is where this review is going to get really not for kids. So if you're
no, this review should not be watched by children.
None of our stuff should be watched by children. But seriously, if you're watching this and you have speakers on and there are kids in the room,
get them the fuck out of there.
Either get them out, stop watching now, or put in headphones or something.
Yeah.
Because full warning, this is extremely disturbing.
Oh yeah, the last part of this movie
is dark as hell.
It gets up there. And this was like the pure reason why I thought this should be on the channel. Like, the ending of this is severely disturbing.
Okay, so if everything's been done by now, pause if you need to.
No, I think by now they're
okay.
Good.
So you've been warned.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot be held responsible for any adverse effects of what we're going to say. This is serious.
Uh-huh.
So she locks the door,
mm-hmm.
and she starts fantasizing about Jessie touching herself while feeling up and eventually making out with the corpse.
And masturbating over the corpse.
Yeah.
She straight up goes full necrophilia.
It is probably the darkest scene in
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's when you know the movie's actually started to happen.
Uh-huh.
Like, things are actually happening in the movie now, but it's just... It caught me entirely off guard.
No, you start to see exactly how fucked up literally all the main cast is.
But up until now, she was the only likable character.
Yeah,
the only character like, oh yeah, she's the like only friend she has in the city.
No, but that's why this movie, no good guys. There is not a single good guy to be had in this movie. Like, aside, not even the mustachio dude is, like, necessarily a good guy.
He's just the least bad.
Yeah, exactly. Even Dean is not necessarily... Possibly even not necessarily a good guy.
Dean might be the most likable because he's trying to be nice.
Yeah, but then there's the possibility of him, maybe doing some bad shit.
Yeah, he could be the rapist.
Exactly. So...
And then...
lots of possibilities
The next scene, Jessie's getting herself sparkled up and has a kind of toga-looking dress on.
Oh, she becomes Cosmic Princess.
Yes.
She goes full narcissistic.
And she's standing over an empty pool on a diving board.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruby asks her what she's doing. And she goes on this rant about how perfect she is and how women torture themselves to look like second-rate versions of her.
They shave and cut and plump and prep and inject
and starve themselves to death.
Yep.
Just to look like second-rate imitations of me.
Uh-huh. Feeling herself hard.
And then the other two women show up.
Like, what does she expect from this, though?
I don't know. And they basically chase her around the house with knives.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ruby just pushes her off and back up the empty pool.
Mm-hmm.
Ruby just looks at her, pushes her into the pool, and there's a extremely unpleasant sound.
Splat.
Splat and crunch, like a splunch.
Like
it's a splunch.
Yeah, like sploop.
Or she's just lying there. Her neck and the face is moving. She's clearly in pain, but she's paralyzed everywhere else.
Yeah, her legs are fucking twisted around.
And the other three slowly go down. We don't know what happens. And then Ruby's bathing in blood.
Mm-hmm. While watching, she's not bathing in, entire
she's covered in blood.
Yeah, she's covered in blood, laying in the bathtub with, that I assume is, also,
blood's all over her face, though.
Yeah, but, the blood's mixing in with the water.
And then the other two
It is a bloodbath.
And then the other two are washing the blood off of them.
In the shower. In
a vaguely erotic scene, if I found either of these women attractive.
Oh, it's played for...
Though I do have to say...
shits and giggles.
Bloodbath.
It is a bloodbath.
It's gonna be a bloodbath, because no one crosses Repo. No, not even Gene Co. No one crosses Gene Co. No, not even Repo. Fuck.
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay.
And and then there's another modeling shoot going on with the two blonde women and another blonde girl. Everyone looks the same in this movie. It's fucking weird and hard to follow.
The nudity in this movie isn't really played for titillation.
No, it's mainly horrifying.
Yeah, it's
the most horrifying was the naked chick.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's disturbing nudity.
Yeah, but I honestly do find the two women in the shower washing the blood off of each other oddly poetic and like soothing to look at.
And
I don't know.
They're getting their hair.
I might just be like a little bit of a weirdo in that case.
They're getting hair and makeup and costumes done for another weird ass Jack photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And someone's like talking about this person who's going to
this like newish girl.
This friend she has is going to extreme lengths to still look young and stay in the industry.
Yeah, because it's like, so hard to stay noticed at 21 in this industry.
And it's like, so have you ever been fucked out of a job by a girl? Yes. So what'd you do to her? I ate her.
Yup.
And person's like, gross. And then the woman who knows that this is verbatim true just looks nauseous.
Yup.
And so they're standing around in ridiculous costumes.
This is after we see Ruby literally just lay on the floor. Well, like, dig Jesse's grave, wash out the pool.
Yeah.
Lay on the floor in the house and piss all over it.
Yeah.
Like just straight up lay on the floor naked and piss all over the floor.
Yeah, that was weird.
Just like a puddle of piss. Then the two of them dress like the two bodyguards for
similar
for
Roddy Largo from Repo. They're not exactly like, they're more colorful.
Yeah,
but it's like that. These do not look like practical clothes or anything anyone can ever move in.
Except for the British one, yeah, because the British one looks a bit more presentable.
She
looks like a goth girl.
One of them gets the new girl gets fired, so British girl can be in the shoot.
Yeah,
and then the other girl, the girl who's 80% plastic, gets distracted and nauseous and runs off and vomits up an eyeball.
Yep,
implying that
mid-shoot.
That not so Jack.
No, not on camera. She goes to like a private room upstairs
and
like bathroom.
To vomits up the eyeball. So clearly they did actually eat her.
Yep.
British girl goes to check on her, and the 80% plastic girl says, "I can't have her inside me."
Yeah, I have
so
to
she
get her
commits harikari with scissors.
Yep. Stabs herself and not only stabs herself, but like lifts the blade up, cutting her abdomen open.
And so British girl's reaction is to take the eyeball and eat it.
Yep.
And then there's a pretty good song with some pictures of desert and the British girl walking around in it, and then the movie's over.
Yep.
What the fuck was any of that?
It was fucking astonishing. Like, I was baffled. My jaw was on the floor by the end of this. Because I was going in expecting a lot of things.
I would like to say before we continue,
was not expecting that.
Matt Nelson, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry for all the awful shit I put on the wheel and made you guys watch.
Well, hey, you never know. You could have had to watch this with Nelson.
I'm not going to stop. Know that. I'm not sorry enough to stop. Yeah. But I understand your pain now after watching this.
Remember, I had to watch this alone my first time.
You watched this. You chose to watch this.
Yeah, I chose. I did. And this was before I even watched. Before I watched Black Swan. And this gets compared to Black Swan a lot.
I would recommend viewers watch this, but be prepared for a very, very slow and actually badly handled build-up.
Just a
and
little.
Also, it is not for the weak-stomached. Oh. It is gross.
No. Do not get yourself to a bloated state and then watch this.
If you can't handle gore, do not watch this movie.
Yeah, you're gonna get fucking disgusted.
The thing is, there's not a lot of gore.
Mm-hmm. But when it has it...
But this is the thing. I can watch Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th with no problem. But Saving Private Ryan I can't do. Saw I can't do. I can do excessive amounts of gore. Mm-hmm. What I can't do is realistic gore. And this is realistic.
highly.
Like the actual, like a lot of it is like dream sequence bullshit.
But no,
but the murder,
it takes it into.
But
like
the actual killing,
yep,
is realistic as fuck.
Handles that to the nth degree. But like I'm glad it actually made it as realistic and brutal as possible.
Is there anything you want to say about this movie before you rate it, and I can forget about this thing?
A couple of things. Example. Well, like one thing I want to kind of go back for.
Yes.
I want to talk about like they get to sit around Ruby and the other two girls a lot, and they talk amongst each other, and they're like, it's like almost every discussion they have is based around Jesse.
Yeah,
and it seems a lot like Ruby was literally just like orchestrating this happening from the beginning.
Yeah, actually, in hindsight, you're right. Like she was plotting it.
Yeah, of course. And it got me thinking because, like, the whole movie, you're like, where's the plot? There's no plot of this movie. And then I'm thinking back, and it's like, no, the whole plot was basically Ruby's doing. It was like, oh, she doesn't want to be my lesbian 16-year-old girlfriend?
Gigi and Sarah.
Yeah.
The other two blonde girls.
Uh-huh. But it's like, oh, you don't want to be my 16-year-old love interest? Well.
Then die.
Then then I'll fucking.
Well, I'm bi-furious.
Yep. Oh man. And not even mentioning like all of the other possible shit that everybody else was doing. It could be okay. The cast could be as bad as you've seen and worse. Oh, have you watched The Witch?
The Witch? No.
Yeah, you're looking at IMDb. You haven't watched it?
No.
We could watch that sometime. We could put that on the list.
Keep talking. I'm just...
Okay. But, yeah, there could be... Like, this is a very open movie to interpretation. Like, amazingly so. It's a dream movie. Like, whoever made this was, like, clearly they had a vision. And you know what? They executed it.
I suppose.
They did a bloody good job of doing so, I feel. But it could have been more.
I wouldn't watch it. I might watch it again, but I'd probably skip the first bit of it.
Yeah. It could have... Not that it could have been more. It could have had less and done a little more.
It could have had the same amount, but been shorter.
Yeah. But, like, they could have also added, like, a couple of other little things to, hint at and think about.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, one other dream sequence.
Yeah, maybe.
She ended up getting like knocked out on the floor. Like fucking Dean ends up showing up at the door after she has like after she gets back from one of her shoots.
Yeah.
And he's got the flowers and he gives them to her, and then she ends up falling on the floor, and she ends up having those like three visions of like the upside down Triforce.
Yeah. And
then the red diamond, which is actually a red triangle above water, being reflected by the water to make it look like a red diamond.
Yep.
And then the vision of the hotel, well, like the motel wall with the hands coming out of it. All that shit is like, oh, it's really cool.
But it has nothing to do with
it. But it doesn't really lead to much. Because literally just the upside down Triforce and the red gem thing is literally just stuff that was at the show. That she was supposed to be closing up.
Yeah.
And then we skip past the part where Gigi or Sarah, I don't know which one, but one of them was basically making out with themselves in the mirror twice, like at the show. And it's like, was that seen by anybody, or was that just a thing that was happening between the two of them?
I'm not sure.
Because this movie doesn't show crowds often. Like, this movie doesn't show you who's watching what, really. Like, even the show at the beginning, like the big party show, it's literally just the three of them watching this one person float.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Pennywise porn.
Yeah, exactly. But all of this is like a cautionary tale about the modeling industry. And it's like it's a very big like what you should not do. And also like kind of a memento mori a little.
Yeah.
Cuz like yeah, we're all human, you know? We're all people, and we have to have humility, and we need to have a like a reminder of like all of our humanity. And like we all have feelings, and we're all going to die eventually.
Yep.
And it's a huge wake up call.
Yeah.
Especially because this is leveled at the fucking modeling industry, which is completely against all of that. Like in the business of making gods and goddesses and worshipping the almighty neon demon.
What do you rate this movie?
Fuck, man. That's a tough one.
Well, I'm gonna give it. Always do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 16 bloody girls.
Yep.
Out of a total 20 eyeballs in a pasta plate being covered by a cloche that no one ever sees at the party. It's just like it's a covered cloche no one ever sees. No one ever opens that cloche. Oh. It's just at the party the whole party.
So it's Hopkins.
Yeah, exactly.
Not Hopkins. It's Hitchcock.
Yeah, it's there, but nobody sees it.
I'm gonna give it 4 mountain lions in motel rooms out of a possible 10. I only give it 4 out of 10 because though the payoff was okay, it was not worth the obscenely long build up to it. Like it ended up being interesting, but it still robbed me of 90 minutes of my life.
I know. I can see it from that perspective also.
So that it took too long getting to it.
I know, I understand. I even got a little impatient watching this my first time.
It felt like a waste of time.
Yeah, I know. But like, okay, remember, this is 2 guys watching what like a woman would probably consider one of the scariest movies she's seen in the past 3 years.
Maybe. I don't know. I guess I wasn't the target audience.
Well, no, we are the target audience for this.
Are we?
I'd say so.
Because I've never given a shit about the modeling industry.
Dude, if whoever made this knew that it was going to be like the target of cinema snobbery and like the critical panning and like all kinds of, you know, stereotypical like, you know, moviegoers nitpicking. Yeah. So whoever made this should have fucking known.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah.
I actually had fun watching this, and that's why I put it up on the wheel. And I hope when you guys do watch this, if you are the type of audience that would like to take a look at it, by all means. And I hope you guys enjoy it too.
It was like, for me, it was like dental surgery for me.
Yeah.
Where I realize it has to happen, and at the end you're glad it's over.
Uh-huh.
But the experience itself was still painful as hell. So.
But it was something that happened, you know? And you know what? It wasn't a lighthearted romp, and I didn't intend anyone to expect this. Yeah. And going into this, like, no, do not expect something that's, like, going to be jokey and, like, you know, something that's going to end with a huge, like, oh, everything's going to be fine.
So, I've been Mark Donato.
This is a horror story. I've been a monster. I've been the neon demon.
And I'll see you all next time for hopefully a better movie.
Yep.
Ciao.
Later, guys.